Ladies and gentlemen, Tactical Advance here, and welcome back to some more Star Citizen news. Now, there's been quite a lot happening over the last couple of weeks. Now, I didn't actually do a patch 1.0.1 video. Wasn't a massive amount in there, it was more about imbalancing, I think, on that one. But 1.0.2 brings a lot more changes that I'd probably say relatively significant. And also, we've had the Townhall Presentation, which was very, very good and very informative. The first thing that's actually been added are the paint skins. Now, they're obviously for limited ships and limited vehicles, started with the buggies. So, might seem significant on face value, but it's the first step to moving towards having paint skins on our actual ship. So, sort of testing small, working their way up. Looking forward to that. The next thing that was added was the laser cannon to the top wing hardpoint of the Aurora LN. The 870 ballistic gun was added. We've now seen the first alliteration of the shield generators. Now, how it worked previously, we sort of pretty much had like one shield generator and you couldn't really swap them out. Now what we've got is I think there's 8 new shield generators, and they are by different manufacturers, so they will have different capabilities and so on. Now, this is pretty cool as well, because obviously what this will add into the game, as well as different variety. So you might say you want to have equipped this shield to defend yourself against this particular weapon and so on. On the other hand, obviously that'll bring new animations and sound effects and stuff like that. Now, at the Townhall Presentation, you could see the first draft of some of the animations to the shields. It does look pretty cool, guys. There's been some balancements as well to the Gamma and the Omega. They've had the handling improved. Few people made comments saying they were a little bit drifty, unlike the Delta. The Delta seemed quite good, but that's been corrected now, so I'll be doing a flight test anyway on the Gamma and the Omega shortly anyway, so I'll get to see how much that's improved. They're the main sort of updates. I mean, there is a lot more there. There's a lot more updates to things like artwork and balancements and bugs and all sorts of changes there. I'll leave a link in the description below so you can have a look. I'm sure you guys have probably all seen it by now because it's been out over a week or so. So moving on. Now, the next big news. I mean, there's so much to go through today, guys, that you're going to have to go and check out some other videos, because the Townhall Presentation went on for around about 4 hours and it's split up into about 4 videos. Now, it's actually on the RSI site, so you can actually go and watch them, but you probably want to get a cup of tea and a few biscuits and prepare a whole evening. It took me a few days to work through them. A lot of information in there. Took a slightly different approach this time. Normally when they sort of do the event where it's all, I want to say organised, when it's sort of everything's ready to go and it's all sort of scripted, this was a little bit more in detail, breaking things down, opening up questions, going a lot more into the lore, the physics, how you're going to exist as a player and so on. So some fantastic information there. One of the things they actually showed was the Terra Tower, 3 kilometers tall. Absolutely huge. One of the cool things they've actually done, they've put an elevator in the tower so you can actually go to the top of the tower and see over all the landscapes. That's going to be pretty cool. They're making quite a big thing about this, so I'm expecting it to be quite impressive. RSI also spoke about some of the matchmaking in the game, and they touched on a couple of areas that people might get touchy about, particularly around the griefing area, saying there's a possibility if you grief once, like you kill a player in an area where you shouldn't kill people, you might get 1 mark, and maybe after 2 or 3 marks, the matchmaking might match you against other griefers. Something on the lines of that. I don't think they've actually refined how that's actually going to work, but I think they're going to put something in place to actually deal with that. Secondly to that, if you go to an area, let's say where you shouldn't draw your gun, and it's an area, let's say, that is heavily guarded by the UEE, if you pull your gun out, you might get a warning. In some areas, you might just get shot, depending on what happens. Now, you'll probably be tasered anyway. I don't know if you're actually going to physically die. We'll have to wait and see. And then maybe what you would get from that is, worst case scenario, you might get a 24-hour period when you can't visit that area. So sort of Star Citizen's approach to first steps to prevent griefing, because in some cases that can ruin a game. But I agree, sometimes everyone does a stupid thing. You might pull your gun out by accident. You might fire it by accident. You don't want to be matchmaked immediately in the griefing side, and I'm sure that they'll take that into consideration. Another large part of the game we actually got to see was the actual Moby glass. Now, we've heard Star Citizen over the last sort of 3 to 4 months talking quite a lot about this. Now this takes quite a sort of key prominence in the game. What the Mobiglass will do, basically it's augmented reality. So basically once you've got them on, you would look around, and if you look up in the sky, it'll tell you like what the weather is. If you go into a shop and you look at a weapon, it'll tell you what the weapon is and it'll give you the option to purchase it. Sort of that general sort of thing, and it also can be used to accessing missions, looking at items, maybe even looking at other players, getting information from that way. It's going to take quite a large part inside of the game, and that sort of planet side. You also have the same augmented reality once you're actually in your ship, so you have the same things. So that's going to be really interesting to see how that plays out. It's going to be pretty key really, because UI and sort of MMOs are pretty key, and there's a fine line between getting it right and getting it wrong, and they're definitely doing something different here. So I'll be interested to see how that plays out. I mean, let me know what you think in the comments below. If any of you guys have seen any of the videos on the Mobiglass, and let me know what you think. Now, on the same topic of some key things we like to see in MMOs is character creation. Now, there was quite a long conversation on the character creation side of it. Customization is going to be there to a point where, you know, you're going to be able to change their nose, their cheek sizes, their hair, beards. You're going to be able to change some heights. So you're going to go to maximum height and minimum height. And you're able to change weight as well. So you're able to go to minimum or maximum as well. A few weeks back, I saw some of the sort of preliminary animations for the characters, models. And they look absolutely awesome, guys. So what they've created so far is like a sort of rubber band man. But also, that does sound pretty bad when I say it like that. But if you actually see it, it does look pretty impressive. The second phase to that is to add the actual physical muscle mass. So that's what they're going to be doing next. So we're going to... is it fair to say we're probably going to see some of the best character models we've seen so far? Which I'm really pleased about, because since the day one, and I've always played you know, many of MMOs in the past, I've always wanted to see a graphically good-looking game with good character models, because the whole point of progression in the game is progressing the character and progressing, in this case, a ship. What you want to be able to see is you want to be able to see in detail how you're actually progressing, whether it's, you know, cosmetics or hair growth or body armor that you bolt on and stuff like that. So really cool, really excited about that. Getting very, very close to the 73 million mark. Absolutely fantastic. Great news for us people that enjoy Star Citizens and looking forward to playing the game. The more money the merrier. I mean, for a big blockbuster title, we're probably looking, let's say, what, 170? Could be more than that, a million. So they've got a little bit more way to go, but it's a very good start considering it hasn't even launched yet. So fantastic. Probably more significant this year, we're probably going to see some really, really cool stuff this year, because now we've sort of got the ships. Well, I say got the ships. We've got a lot of ships we're all waiting for, particularly the multi-crew and the larger ships that exceed the hangar size, but that's something to look forward to this year. We've got the FPS module and the multi-crew going into Arena Commander, and at the very end of the year we're probably going to see as well probably a few missions of Squadron 42, and maybe even moving into sections of the Persistent Universe. So going to be an awesome year. So this is the year for Star Citizens now. Let's hope they can pull this off. Also, guys, don't forget, I've got a Facebook page as well. I post all sort of unseen images and bits and bobs all the time, and news updates. Haven't actually made a lot of videos the last couple of weeks, guys. I've been moving office. The move is done now, but unfortunately there's a little bit of building work that's been happening. I've got a bit of a backlog to do. The good news is hopefully over the next sort of week or so, I'm going to start ramping it up and get the rest of the videos done, all prepared for these larger ships that are going to be coming in. One of the ones I'm definitely looking forward to is the Starfare. So that's it from me, guys. Don't forget, in the description down below, you've got all the links there as well for the Townhall presentation and all the other information that I've included in this video. So, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye now.